Welcome back, dear game freaks. Welcome to another episode of Wild Piece of Desert. Today we're building a reptile house. I checked the last episode for Wild Piece of Desert that I was uploading was already 2 months ago, so I thought it's good to continue our desert still. In the beginning, you see me building the basic shape of the roof that I made out of this freeform windows, and it was not so easy to make them stick together and in the end get a form out of it without some gaps in between. So I was redoing and refining that several times during the whole building process. Maybe it would be easier if you first place a grid item and then place them on top, so you can make sure that you are really straight and have the right angle. So this would be a recommendation from my side. I didn't do it, I just thought about it afterwards. I was also playing around a little bit with all the, what form the building should get. So in the end we get this little triangle form, so I copy around one more time this roof shape and then blend off everything with the wooden structure that we got. So copy all this wooden structure from the one side to the other side and then to the opposite side. So at the end I have 4 times the same wooden structure. Here, the front side of the building, I'm using more of these freeform windows and blend off the border of the entrance gate to our reptile house. The round circle on the front, you can see I was building off camera. Basically there were only some logs that I recolored. I just redo the colors that we got also on the window and the building itself. And I'm using actually the dome technique that everybody is using. There is a lot of tutorials on that. For example, from the designer I can recommend. It's a very good tutorial how to build a dome, so you can really do it yourself. It's not a big thing. When I'm done with the building itself, I start with laying the floor in the inner side of this circle wooden structure. And this was not easy because I'm already placing down 2 exhibits and 1 shop and 1 info corner in these 4 corners in the reptile house, and somehow it was always a bit off the grid, and it took me a long time to get it fixed, to make the floor covering 100%, and so we don't see any sand anymore. Cut it all out. So you see only then the final turn when it was finally working. In the middle I was placing down some kind of pyramid, statue, whatever. Actually this was not designed as a statue, it was designed as the rooftop of the building. But I decided it looks not so good, so I made out a little, some kind of statue that is in the middle. Later on I'm placing some info boards that I was building on the computer of my sister actually, for her too, and I was copying that, uploading that and copying that, and was placing that in this statue, and around also with the same material I'm placing later on some of benches and information corners. In the end they all have the same style. In the next step we are laying down all the barriers in the inner side of the reptile house. We are laying the glass window, so it looks like a big window, but actually it is a glass barrier that we got. And on the outside I'm using the chain fencing, and I blend it off later on with some of the wooden structures that we were also using to make the edges of the roof. When we're done with all the barriers, we start decorating our habitats. So we begin with the rocks along the water side, where we will have the gazebo later on, and the guests will have their view, so we blend it off with the rocks so that the animals cannot climb out and attack the guests. Continue with all the terrain stuff and plants. I will do it twice because we will feature 2 animals in the end, the Komodo dragon and the Nile monitor, so we have to do it twice. The plants and foliage will be a little bit different because the Komodo dragon is from Asia and the Nile monitor is from Africa. So I placed more bamboo on the side of the Komodo dragon because, as said, it's an Asian animal and the bamboo doesn't fit to the Nile monitor. Then we make also sure that the inside is beautiful, and we're also placing some plants there, and placing also the food tables there so that the visitors can see the animals having their food. At the end of the speed build, you see me mainly building more decoration and stuff like around the entrance area. Some things I did also off camera, like the gazebo I copied from the Flamingo Lagoon, who built it there in the street build, and I copied it around and changed it a little bit. For example, I added the ropes. Also off camera I was doing some more decoration in the inner side of the Reptile House, but basically I think you have seen them all in the cinematics already, and I would say I'll leave you guys now for the rest of the speed build, and at the end of the video you will see some more cinematics, what's the result of our Reptile House. Thank you very much guys for tuning in into my channel. If you liked what you have seen, I would be very thankful if you would leave a thumbs up, hit the subscribe and hit the bell button so you also stay tuned for my future uploads. Thank you very much, see you soon, bye bye.